Hello, my name is Nicholas, and before I begin the video, like and share. It'll help, build us as a community. Subscribe also, kind of show me that you're there, that you're thinking about me. And also check the link in the description below. One of the things that I'm promoting out of that, it's a few different things, but one of the things that I'm promoting out of the description below is my school community. It's still free to join. We already have guys over there. We sharing LinkedIn and networking, building a community over there. And if you're trying to get into estimating and you want to network, come on, bruh. Let's get it done. All right, let's get into the video. So today we're going to be breaking down a $1 million cost estimate for a job. This is all, of course, hypothetical, but generally where the money tends to kind of group up versus other places. And I'll just kind of give a general walkthrough of, like, let's just say I was kind of cost averaging, based on square footage, how much this should be and that should be and all of that. That's what I'm doing right now. And if that doesn't make sense, you'll kind of get the gist as we go into it. So one of the largest places that you're going to have a cost on pretty much any job that you have, I'm going to split it in half, but it'll be between site and site work and MEP. So mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. So, HVAC and, yeah, like I said, electrical and plumbing. Those are going to be where a lot of money is going to be getting spent to make this project where it needs to be. And I'll kind of throw in a slight one here, and that may be concrete. You know what? I'll throw in a third. And I'll do it like this. MEP is normally the most expensive. Site comes slightly lower. And between concrete, if you wanted to add them both together, concrete and metals, or steel, and how that's going to be used on the project, that's normally going to be up there if the project calls for these things. So there might be a project that uses a lot of structural steel, and so that's where the metals and the steels is going to be used up. Or it might be like a tilt wall building where it's almost completely made out of concrete to include the slab. And so, of course, then that's another number. Normally, other metal divisions, like it might be 07, according to, are you looking before 1995 or after 1995 on how the divisions are broken down? But basically, decorative metal and metal that's just going to be for the facade, the exterior, to include the roof even, normally isn't that expensive. A metal roof can be very expensive and a very large part of the project, but normally it's the structural steel, because there's so much steel used whenever you're building a structure out of steel. And all right, so let's start breaking these things down. So out of the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing section, which is normally the most expensive section out of the entire job, normally the electrical section of that is going to be the most expensive. HVAC is going to be normally second, kind of give or take, and then plumbing is normally the least expensive out of all three. But everything varies. Then when we get over to the site, the most expensive thing is going to be grading, excavation, all of that earthwork is going to be where a lot of the expenses. There's normally, maybe a cleaning in there, which is normally almost never that expensive. I've never seen a cleaning for a job, millions and millions and millions of dollars go over like $10,000 for it. Or let's be more safe. Go over $20,000. I don't think I've ever seen a cleaning go over that high, because it's just cleaning. other things that get added into site according to how you want to look at it, but normally those are going to be the most expensive. And things that you may think are site that I'm kind of leaving out is going to be like landscaping, utilities, sewer and water, which is normally going to be part of utilities. I'm trying to leave all of that stuff out of site, but some people may consider it, site work. And then the next section is going to be your concrete and your steel. So those are just pretty much self-explanatory. All the concrete for the foundation, the footings, the this, the that, the third, maybe the slab. Well, not obviously the slab, but a number that might be included in the concrete number might be like finishes. So like, a polish or a seal for the concrete, that sort of thing. All right. Now, other places where you're going to start seeing money pop up is going to be, exterior finishes. Is that stucco or masonry or, your decorative metal panels, and also for the roof. And how I just explained that's also that can be pretty expensive according to the job. And those all are going to take a toll on the budget, of course. And next, we'll go down to, let's say, all of the waterproofing on the building, to include insulation for the building as well. So the waterproofing for the exterior and the roof, whether that's the Tyvek, and then also there's fluid applied, and there's other things that can be used as water, like they are sprayed on and are like sheathing, basically like CDX, and those act as waterproofing, and then they just get sprayed at the joints because they're already sprayed panels. It's that green board that some people may have seen or may not have seen whenever you're talking about the exterior of a building. Doors and windows, that can be very expensive as well, but it's not as large as the other sections that I've called out. And that is about it. Fire alarms, fire systems, sprinklers, and all of that sorts of stuff. Maybe you have it, maybe you don't. Maybe it calls for it, maybe it doesn't. But these are generally, though, all of the different sections on a project. Now, let's because I made the title Breaking Down $1 Million Job, and I've kind of gone through the breakdown of the different scopes and processes. So for $1 million job, let's say 250 is electrical. $1 million. Let's say 250 is MEP. So mechanical, electrical, and plumbing is 250. Let's say site work is 200. So now we're at 450. Let's say concrete and structural steel is 100, so we're at 450. Now we're at 550. Let's say the roof and all of that sort of stuff. That stuff is, let's just make it the 50. So now we got 600, and then we'll have like 100, or we'll have 50 in insulation, waterproofing, all of that sort of stuff. Let's say the fire alarm system, fire alarm, sprinklers, all of that stuff. Let's say that came out to 100. I think we're at 7. And 100 for, all the personnel on site. And that's one of the major things that hopefully, if you're still listening in the video, I just mentioned, and you can add to this, but the personnel, so your project managers, your whoever is going to be running the project, the superintendents, everybody, accountants, estimators, all of that stuff is taken into account for the project as well, because all that labor needs to be paid for. And that may be in the site section for a lot of estimators. It's kind of, you see me kind of going back and forth because at different companies, I've used different divisions, labels, kind of. So, some, let's just not get too deep into it, but so let's say 100 there, we're at 800, or maybe at 900 at this point, kind of forgot. And, another 100 in contingency between all of those. So 10 here, 20 here, 30 here, 10 here, and 5 here, something like that. A split up of that 100 in contingencies to make sure that we do have enough money in each one of those sections. That's where the extra will go, for me at least. And that's the breakdown of the $1 million job into different sections to where they normally go. Hopefully this helps you kind of get a generalization of a project and where you're going to likely see different things. And maybe even begin to see them how I see them myself right now. And I'll catch you on the next one. Appreciate your view.